Oh, oh yeah, yeah, oh, oh yeah, yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Untitled. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and especially the notification gang. As you can see, Mr. Today is not all out there.
What? What do you mean?
You're not like all taking over my channel because he's not here as my husband, but you are here as an artist.
Here's a guest.
He's here as a guest.
Here's a special guest.
And how do you feel?
Scared.
Why are you scared?
Because you didn't tell me the questions, and I wanted to know the questions beforehand because I wanted to be prepared.
If I tell you the questions, it ruins the whole thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, can you relax? Don't be shy. Who's Brenden? Who's Brenden Praise?
Brenden Praise that's my alter ego.
Okay.
So my full name is Brenden Praise Ledwaba.
Just praise.
Yes, just praise.
Okay.
So, but when I go on stage, it's just Brenden Praise, and on social media, I like to be known as just Brenden Praise, as opposed to Brenden Ledwaba, which is my government name. But Brenden Praise. That's my brand as a singer, as a musician.
Is Brenden Praise different to Brenden Ledwaba?
I think so. I think Brenden Ledwaba is like the regular guy, you know, who buys bread, who buys bread, who goes, you know, who does regular things.
Okay.
Brenden Praise does not do regular things.
Okay.
Brenden Praise does extraordinary things.
Like what?
Like Brenden Praise is like a philanthropist, life changer. Brenden Praise is an artist, very true to the arts.
Yeah.
A creative,
Okay, and tell me about growing up. How was your childhood?
My childhood was cool.
Yeah.
I was a very lonely kid. I think I was kept to myself. I think I still have a bit of that today.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to share myself a lot with people, and I just like to kind of do things on my own.
Why is that? Why do you choose to say a lonely child, especially because you grew up in a big family?
I just think I always felt like I was different. Like I had like my road was gonna be different, and I just knew that I was destined for great things. I still know that, you know, that I'm destined for so much bigger than I can imagine.
Yeah. When did that? Did you ever be that child who played a lot, or did you have just an early realization that maybe actually I don't fit in here? Was it more of I don't really fit in with the crowd, or more of I'd rather be doing this? When did that realization happen?
I just I guess maybe when I think as soon as I got to high school, that's when I really knew that that this like being like regular is not gonna work for me. Like following the crowds and doing what everyone else is doing is not gonna work for me. I think in primary I knew it. I felt different.
Yeah.
But I was too young to do anything about it. So I still did sports, and I was great. I played soccer. You know my story. I almost played for Kaizer Chiefs, but then I broke my hip. You know, sadly.
Wasn't it an ankle?
Wow. No, it was a hip.
Okay.
So I mean, in primary I was able to kind of just do regular things because I was a child.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got into high school and I started realizing that I actually have a gift, you know? Like
the gift has it always got to do with music, or just a gift?
Sure. I don't know. Okay. That's a good question, because I don't think it was always about music, even though, I mean, that's what it became. But I was excellent at spoken word, if I can say something like, because I used to do a Stedford, and I've told you this, I've shown you my certificates.
Yeah.
I used to get prestige all the time. If I was to recite a poem, I'd do it in such a way that I would make it my own.
Okay.
Like I was just able to do something at a very high level.
Yeah.
Everything I do, I have the ability to do that at an excellent level that regular people who would be doing it for the first time just like me wouldn't be able to do it that way.
So people don't know that you were a DAX learner. So you actually you're supposed to be like an engineer or some sort. Like you were really you were top of class all the time. And in high school that changed, and according to you, on purpose.
I wouldn't say on purpose. Okay. Obviously, there's a level of laziness that happened as well.
Okay.
But I think mostly it's like I said, I think you start to realize that you are I watch a lot of basketball, right?
Yeah.
In basketball, they do this thing where they call it load management.
Okay.
So if a player is a really great player, he doesn't have to play all the games.
Okay.
Because he needs to play when it matters.
Okay.
And I feel like I didn't know that term of load management, but I feel like that's what I did.
Okay.
I recognize that, you know what, I don't actually need, it doesn't help me putting so much energy, investing in all of these subjects that are not going to advance my career.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to do enough. I need to do enough that I get my matric certificate.
Yeah.
And that I get into whatever school I want to study or whatever.
Yeah.
I just need to do enough.
Yeah.
And I need to spend most of my time on my music. And that's I think it's a topic that a lot of people are afraid to have.
Yeah. It's tricky. It's very
tricky.
And very diverse.
It is diverse because it doesn't work for every career.
Exactly.
And it doesn't work for every profession.
Yeah.
But for mine in particular, it did. And my parents didn't understand.
Yeah.
But I knew that I was good enough creatively to make up for not having to have the best academics. Sure. And so I think I was also confident enough to say, you know what, I will sacrifice that load management, because when you do load management is that your stats obviously go lower.
Yeah.
So you don't actually seem as great as you actually are because you're taking so much time off in so many other things that you're not just, a lot of people, they stack the stats.
Yeah.
They want to do everything.
Yeah.
You want to be in the netball team, you want to kill it there. You want to do hockey, you want to do everything. You want to do I stayed fit, you want to do choir. You're out here, you belting notes in the choir, and then this side you're out here, you prize giving, you are the maths person. You can't do everything. Something's gonna suffer.
Yeah, I think it goes with what the book I'm reading, the 5 a.m. Club, is that the greatest would rather do one thing really, really great than do a lot of things and just half-heartedly.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it. So who taught you music? When did you start playing keyboard? And when did you fall in love with the keyboard? I know you can play the keyboard, drums, bass, guitar, sing. So how did you decide it's okay, so this is what I'm sticking with? And
so when I was younger, my dad bought a keyboard.
Yeah. How old were you?
Sure. When he bought it, I think I probably was maybe 7.
Okay.
I was very young. I was 6 actually.
Yeah.
And then he didn't know how to play.
Okay.
But he thought we would figure it out.
Wow.
So he bought it and he put it around, and then obviously we're 6 years old. We don't know what this thing is.
Yeah.
So we just we showed no interest.
Okay.
And then he taught himself a little bit. And then when he did that, it made us interested. And then he taught us what he knew.
Yeah.
And then after
4
that,
notes.
yeah, he knew 4 notes. He could play a song.
Yeah.
And then we started fiddling around. And then before you know it, you're doing your own research. At that time, we used to go to church conferences where you're meeting other people, and then
other musos.
And it's hey, big new, there was this term in Telamacord. He used to ask for chords. He's I want to know what you know.
Yeah.
You understand? It's that thing. So we'd go to conferences, and stuff, and they'd show us and then you'd pick up what you pick up. And then obviously you wouldn't get everything. Sometimes you'd get it the wrong way, but it would be more than what you knew before.
Yeah.
And then that way you just get better and better until you know enough to play a song. And I just subscribe to the knowledge that you don't have to know everything.
Yeah.
I do think a lot of people want to get to a point where they feel like they know everything. I'm ready, I understand all aspects of it. But you never reach that point.
No.
And so I think if you know enough, and a lot of people at the time they want to do something, they already know enough
to get started.
And that's just been my philosophy. That's why I don't consider myself a piano player. I'm not a great piano player. I can play my songs. And I can play what I need to play.
You can play John Legend's song.
I can play John Legend songs.
That makes you
The
a
ones
good
that I
piano
know.
player.
The ones that I know. I can't
Okay.
play all of the songs, you know.
Yeah.
But if I listen to it, I can pick it up quickly because I'll invest time into knowing how to do it.
Yeah. So first song you wrote.
The first song I wrote, I don't remember the exact song. I wrote a lot of songs. I used to write songs for my friends.
Your girlfriend.
I don't remember writing a song
Okay.
for a girlfriend.
Okay.
But I have written a song for girls that I wished were my girlfriend.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I remember I wrote a song for my friends in high school.
Okay.
And yeah.
What was it called? You don't remember it at all?
I don't remember the song. It wasn't a good song. It was just like, I was just kind of figuring it out.
Okay, and how did you get the songs to your friends?
At the time, I think, Bigne infrared
Yeah.
and Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So I'd Bluetooth the songs and then they'd kind of circulate around like the school. And
Is
people would
it?
be like, yeah, I heard your song, you're so good. And like, oh, thank you.
Were you popular in school?
Sort of, not really.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think I was, I guess, because I think I had a gift, but I don't think I was popular because there's certain people, like, you know, when you're in high school, there's certain people, like, they make it seem like things just come easy to them.
Yeah, like the rugby star.
Yeah, like there's certain people that like, they're just so easy to like.
Okay.
Like you just can't hate them. So I wasn't that.
Okay.
I was definitely not. It didn't come easy for me. I do think I did want to be liked more.
Okay.
And a lot of times I did have to kind of pretend to be something else.
Yeah.
To be different, just to fit in. But for the most part, I think I was quite popular.
Okay. Did you
Not as popular as now, but
did you enjoy high school? Was it a good experience for you?
I did enjoy high school. I think it was a good learning experience. I think it taught me to be brave and to be like myself eventually become yourself.
Okay. Cool. Let's talk about idols. What inspired you to go to idols?
I started considering idols straight out of high school, obviously, because I think the previous year Kaya had won.
Yeah,
obviously.
that was a big moment.
And that was a big deal. Like for every black person, I think when Kaya won idols, it was like, yo,
we can do this.
Here's an opportunity. Like it became an opportunity for us.
Yeah.
Because before it was, and I used to watch it before, but it was mostly like a show where, like, even the black people on the show were doing like pop songs.
Yeah.
So it was like not really relatable.
Yeah.
And then Kaya won it, and I mean, he was doing like songs that we like. He was doing more Alicia Keys, Nicki Minaj.
Yo, that
It
Nicki
was
Minaj.
shocking. Yeah, it was like, yo, this guy, what he did. And so once I saw him do that, I mean, that year, Vela, when you won, in my mind, it was like ringing. It was just like, I was like, I could do that.
Wow. Yeah.
Like in my heart, I don't know if you ever have like that moment, but in my heart, I felt I can do that. Like what he's done is amazing, but I can do that.
Yeah.
And so when the year began, obviously I went to school to make my parents, to meet them halfway. Because I did end up studying like something related to music and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have a plan. So idols was like my plan. Like I didn't know where the studying was going to take me.
Okay.
I just knew that I have this gift, and at least if I'm in Gauteng, I have a better opportunity, a better chance of getting it to work.
Yeah.
And so
school wasn't the end goal for you. It was just let's just keep things going.
School for me was just like, I just don't want to be chilling at home doing nothing.
Sure. Okay.
It was like I just want to let me just do this just so that everyone is happy, and then I also get to be like where I want to be.
Okay.
And then the first semester.
Yeah.
Right? The first quarter.
Yeah.
Let's say first quarter of schooling. I remember like the auditions of idols were, I think, in March that year.
Okay.
In Joburg, they were in March. And so I think it was like a week after I would be finished writing.
Okay.
In my first quarter at school. So I finished that week, and then I decided I'm just gonna stay. And then I told like my parents that I'm gonna come back like next week.
Did you tell them why?
I didn't tell them why before.
Okay.
I ended up telling them I think that week.
Okay.
But I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna go audition. And then the following week, the week of the auditions, then I told my dad, I was like, Dad, I'm actually gonna try it for Idols.
Yeah.
And I told my sister, and my dad was like, okay. But my dad's like such a kind man.
Yeah.
Like he didn't want me to get hurt, so he was like, yeah, you know, son, anything can happen.
Yeah.
You know, he was just trying to make it like, if I don't make it through,
it's okay.
I mustn't be hurt.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna enter. I'm gonna get in.
Yeah. And your sister, cause she's.
And then I told my sister as well. My sister was living here, I think,
Yeah,
at the
she
time.
was.
She was living here in Joburg. So then on the day of the audition, my dad decided he's gonna drive up.
Wow.
So he drove up from Mpumalanga, Graskop, 4.5 hour drive to Sandton Convention Center.
Yeah.
And my sister obviously joined us there as well.
Yeah.
And so I queued up from the Friday,
Yeah.
like 1 o'clock during the day.
How did you know that you have to queue up so early?
I did my research.
Okay, I love that.
So I did my research. I checked around. I knew some people that had been.
Okay.
And I asked them, I was like, yo, man, like, what's the process? How
Yeah.
does it work? Because I don't believe in just like walking into something that you don't
Didn't
know. Like
prepare
I said,
for.
even with this interview, I want to know what the questions are. Like, so that was my thing. I wanted to know, how does it work? So I already knew what the steps are.
Yeah.
What's the hurdles? What's
Yeah.
the hardest part?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't just wake up and be like, I'm going to try out. I know
Okay.
some people do that.
Yeah, and it works for them, yeah.
But with me, I like to know, I like to have my ducks in a row. And so, yeah, so one guy said, yeah, these things can take forever and whatnot. And by the time it's the end of the day, some of the judges are already tired.
Yeah.
What else? I was like, you know what, I'm going to get it early.
Sure.
And I think I was within like the top 20 people who were there.
You're one of the first 20 people?
First 20 people to audition. So
Sure.
so I went there and I stood there from 1, and then at like around in the evenings, obviously my sister like stood in the line for me.
Yeah.
While I went to like get like some rest.
Wow.
And then I came back, and then my dad also would like step in, and we just like switch it around like until the following day. I
So
think
you
8
slept
a.m.
outside, basically?
I slept in the car.
Okay. Your family slept
like
outside?
yeah, my family took turns sleeping outside. Okay, I slept outside also like a bit, but
Yeah.
not like a lot.
Wow. So you didn't bath before you auditioned?
I think everyone knows it's when you think you just go into a bathroom and you just freshen up. You change your
Wow.
t-shirt and you put on your spray.
Okay. And in that moment of your audition, which blew a lot of people's minds, were you nervous? Were you confident? What were the feelings? Did you feel like, actually, this is it? Or, oh my gosh, what am I doing? How were you feeling? Were you confident, nervous, or you felt like, oh, this is a big mistake?
I was during the audition.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I was nervous, but like not nervous. I wasn't anxious.
Do you think you were too tired to be nervous, or it was...
No. I think I had rehearsed enough. I was confident in what I was going to do.
Okay.
Because the song that I did, I rehearsed that song for like a month.
Wow, okay.
For a month, I practiced the song in the exact way I was going to do it, in the exact length it was
So you
gonna
didn't
be.
even try something new during the audition?
I wasn't going to try something new. I remember going in, something told me, why don't you just do like another song? Because I got, like I was getting nervous and I was
Yeah.
like, why don't you just do another song?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you know, it just seemed like, oh, that song is going to work.
Yeah.
You know, I just felt like this song's making, because the other one I was tired of it because I was doing it the whole week. You know, so, but I just stuck to the song that I rehearsed and I did it, and it wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't great. It was so. I think a lot of people related to the authenticity
Okay.
of what I was doing,
Yeah.
as opposed to like how good you are.
Yeah.
I think that's with a lot of things, you know.
Yeah.
I think, and I always say, like with music, the technical part of it is really overrated.
That's
The
true.
technical part of music is overrated. That's why the best musicians
Aren't the best
aren't the
singers.
best singers
Yeah.
or the best actual musicians. There's always
Yeah.
someone who's better.
Yeah.
But it's really the heart in which you do it and being able to carry whatever message you're selling. And I really think it was very believable.
Yeah.
What I was doing was very believable. It was very easy to see that this person could be something if we gave him a chance.
Yeah.
And that was my goal. It wasn't to be perfect. It was to show
Relatable.
people who I am. That's why I stuck with the song.
Yeah.
And I played it on the piano because I was just trying to show my identity from the word go.
Okay, so there's a song, All of Me. That song, I think, has been a game changer for our relationship because that's the song that made me decide I'm going to marry you. You sang that song just after it came out.
Yeah.
What was it about that song? Because I think a lot of other songs came out at that time, but you chose to go. What was it about that song?
So, okay, it's a lot of things that was going on. I think with that song in particular, when you do a show like that, it's such a big show and there's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
And there's so many influences that a lot of times you don't have a lot of control.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think I was at a point where I felt like, okay, I have lost a lot of control over the weeks.
Okay.
As into
Decisions.
in terms
and all
of
that.
what I want to do and what I'm trying to put across as an artist.
Okay.
So because if you're working with a band, the band wants to play the song their way.
Yeah.
You understand? If you're working with singers want to do it this way.
Yeah.
And it's like it's always a thing because these are professionals and everybody's got their own opinion and ideas and it's fine and it works. But then with that song, I when I heard it, for me, what worked about that song was how vulnerable it was. And I said, I want to recreate that. I want to make people feel how the song makes me feel. And the only way I could do that was if I sat on a piano on my own and just sang the song with no other voices, with no other instruments, just like this is just me, almost resembling my audition in a way, so that people would remember why they like me. You understand? So yeah, I think that was part of that decision, and it's just a good song also.
It's an amazing song.
Yeah.
One word to describe your music journey.
My music journey has been complex.
Complex.
Yeah. Complex because it's never a particular thing for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's always changing and it's a mixture of good and bad. It's a mixture of wins and losses and it's just
Is it what you expected? The career.
Honestly, I don't think I had any expectations. Okay. I don't think I knew enough, which I think is actually a blessing. I didn't know enough about the music industry to really know what to expect. So when I went into Idols was like a gateway that kind of propelled me into, like, just put like a little toe into this industry.
Yeah.
You know? So I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it meant to be a musician. I just knew that I like John Legend and I like Maxwell and I like Usher and I like D'Angelo and I like them.
Yeah.
I didn't think about what it takes to be them. I didn't think about what it means, what they have to deal with on a daily. You know, I was too young and naive to think about those things.
Yeah.
So I think that helped. That my expectations weren't very high, or I had no expectations, and everything that happened, I kind of learned the job on it, like on the job.
Have you lost yourself and had to find yourself, or are you in a cycle of losing and finding yourself, or are you consistent in who you are and everything else will catch on?
I think if you're truly like, as a creative person, if you're truly real to yourself, then you know that being a creative is finding and losing yourself. That is really what it is. Because that's how you find yourself in searching. So if you stop to search, then you become an idea of yourself. You become almost like what people want or what you think works. You know, it becomes routine, and I don't think it ever becomes that. So for me, I do think I continuously lose myself, and I have to find myself. Who am I? What am I trying to say? And in doing that, that's how I bring out like a new version of myself, or just kind of reach a deeper self.
a lot of artists, not just in South Africa, especially in the music industry, have committed suicide. A lot are into drug abuse. A lot speak about the mental effects that this industry has on you. I know, like, your AKA spoke out on taking a break to just have peace of mind. Gigi Lemaine also is speaking out now about suicide. And if you're comfortable sharing this, I know you went through a phase of a depression, but I think at that time the word depression wasn't as outspoken. How did you deal with that? What do you think brings people, specifically in your industry, to that point?
I think it's self-inflicted pressure. I think when you do.
Are you speaking from your point?
My perspective.
Yeah.
It's when you. I think any industry. I do think the music industry, or entertainment as a whole, is a lot more demanding, because you're living out your career publicly, and your failures publicly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a factor. But I think also, we just we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And the world puts a lot of pressure on people.
Yeah.
And if you listen to both your inner voice and the world's voice telling you who you should be at this particular moment, and it doesn't align with your reality, it can cause you to be a depressed human being.
Yeah.
And I think I definitely suffered a lot of that.
Yeah.
But what helped me was, and I've told this to you a lot of time, is that you can't let your life pass you by.
Yeah.
And just that idea of you cannot let your life pass you by. A lot of people think that whatever their career is, that's their purpose. And your career is not your purpose. Your career is a part of your purpose. But your career is not your purpose.
And it's not you.
And it's not you. And it's just, everything has a season, and there's a time for everything, and God's time is not your time. And so sometimes God's telling you to live a little. God's telling you to, why don't you do that cooking that you like doing? Why don't you spend more time with your family? Why don't you do all these other things that you like to do, and stop focusing on what's not happening? And I think a lot of creative people, when it's not happening, because it's not going to happen sometimes.
That's the truth.
It's not going to happen sometimes.
Like that song we love by Sjava. What's it called?
Linda.
Yeah.
It's honestly, for a long time, it's not going to happen. Like, you know this. I didn't have a top 10 song until this year. It's my 6th year in the industry.
Sure.
You understand? It's not going to happen. And if you now stop living because your life isn't the way you think it is, and you're focusing your energy on your failures, you are pushing yourself into a deeper depression. And so for me, I think I realized it, that I need to continue living.
Yeah.
And honestly, the period between when I kind of, I don't want to say surrendered, but removed myself from music being my identity. That period between then and now has been the best time of my life. The best things in my life have happened.
Yeah.
And I realized that if what I wanted to happen, if I had become this superstar who's got this #1 album, who's touring all the time, I wouldn't have had a time to get married. I wouldn't have had a time to have a baby. I wouldn't have had a time to connect with family. I wouldn't have had, there's a lot of things that needed to happen in my life. But I didn't see that bigger picture. All I saw is that radio's not playing my song.
Sure.
That's all I could see at that moment. I'm seeing what the radio is declared. This is my 2nd single, and they're still not playing it. Do you understand? People are not buying my music. No one knows who I am. No one cares who I am. People aren't liking my pictures. People this is not this. That's all I'm seeing. But you see, there was a greater purpose for my life.
Yeah.
There's other things I had to achieve. There's other things that I had passions in that I didn't even know, because I was so focused on this one thing.
That's not happening.
And what I've realized is, it's like what you said. Oprah says, if you want something, you don't obsess about it. If you obsess about it, you repel it.
Yeah.
But if you want it, you go after it, and then you let it go. And so it's that same spirit. I think that's what got me out of that depressed mindset and into a better space. And trust me, if your mind is not in the right place, you will never ever achieve what you need to achieve if your mind isn't right.
Yeah. what's funny is with all previous songs, now that you mentioned that after 6 years you finally get a top 10 song, after so many years you finally release your album, is that all the other times you were obsessed or your focus was on those songs need to be on radio, like you said, why aren't they playing? And then the one song that makes it in the top 10, that's all over, you didn't even think about it.
We didn't think about it. It was honestly, I mean, we're talking about Joy Joy.
We've talked about Joy Joy.
You guys don't know what the song is.
Yeah.
So I did a song called Joy Joy with Black Motion.
Yeah.
And we literally did it in like 30 minutes.
Wow.
I literally recorded the song like 30 minutes and I was out.
You didn't even try, let me fix this up, let me
I didn't
fix
fix
this up.
anything. It was pretty much a one-take song. It was like, what do you need to do?
One take wonder.
Let's do this.
You Samuel Jackson.
Oh wow, I'm Samuel Jackson. So yeah, you know, it was, but I think the time was just right, and we just knew what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And when you know what you want to do, you don't obsess about it. And even with Joy Joy, it only became popular this year.
Yeah.
But we released it last year.
Yeah.
So with everything, there's a level of patience that's required, and a level of you have to be okay
With things not happening the way.
with things not happening the way you want them to happen.
What inspired Joy Joy?
I think my life inspired that, because
Okay.
I realized that joy is not, it's not success. And I think I've tweeted this, that if your joy is attached to your success, then your joy will always be short-lived.
Then it's more happiness, really, because joy, I think, is experiencing the moment despite the circumstances.
So
Because
that's-
happiness is based on emotion.
Exactly.
And
So
experiences.
that's what I think I was feeling, is that I had learned how to be joyous in my life. How to be joy celebration.
Ah,
I'd learned how to be joy celebration in my life, and it was a beautiful thing, and I just want everyone to feel that. You know, I want everyone to feel that I am happy.
yeah.
That you can be happy.
Yeah.
And you can be happy regardless.
Of what's
That nothing matters.
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, your happiness is not attached to experience
Yeah.
or success or anything you might think it is.
Yeah.
It's honestly within you.
Yeah.
You get to decide.
Yeah.
You get to choose. Guti, you know what? Because at every given moment in life, there is something to be happy about.
Someone actually tweeted that what you're going through, someone's praying for that.
Exactly. So every single situation you find yourself, you can still find joy within that situation.
Let's talk about feel so good.
Yeah.
When I think feel so good, my understanding of why you titled it Feel So Good is after such a long time of wanting this, of working so hard, writing songs, putting it out there, pushing for this, it finally happens and it feels so good.
It does. It does feel good.
What's your interpretation?
That's exactly my interpretation.
Yay!
You literally read my script. It's my interpretation. It's just that I think the best thing to experience in life is to complete something. It's not in succeeding.
Yeah.
It's not.
But I think success is completing something.
Yes, but I'm saying it's not in like being, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Let me rather say it's not in like being number one.
Yes.
Or being like critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
great. But completing something.
Yeah.
That's the
feels
true.
good.
That's the true success.
Yeah.
To finish something, to start something and finish it.
Yeah. Because everyone starts something, but not everyone
a
finishes.
lot of people don't finish
Yeah.
because it's too hard.
Very hard.
It's too hard, and a lot of people don't want to finish because they realize this is too much.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
not worth
taking
it.
a lot from me, and I'm not willing to sacrifice. So with this, it just felt so good that I did it.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Yeah.
you know, I did it against all odds. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your favorite song in the album?
Yo, I don't have a favorite song. They're all so good. Every song has a story. It's kind of like every song, because I did this album over a period of 4 years,
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
And every time I listen to a song, it reminds me of a time when I was writing the song.
Yeah.
So every song kind of has its moment, and I'm just like, wow, the song. But right now, I think "Lose You Again" is
Okay.
like my vibe.
Why?
Just because I think it's the bravest song on the album. It's a very brave song because I just really went for what I wanted to do, and I didn't compromise, and I didn't ask anyone if this is okay. Do you like this sound? Am I going the right direction? It was just kind of like, let me just do this, and I just threw the kitchen sink at it.
A lot of people love that you incorporate a lot of Tsonga in your songs. Why is that?
My mom is Tsonga.
Okay.
My mom is Tsonga, and I like the language. I really think it's a beautiful language.
Yeah.
If you know how to speak it, you will know that it's a beautiful language, and you can express yourself in Tsonga, I think, in ways that you really can't in English. It's just weird. I don't know. I just feel like it's a language.
You wouldn't hold other interviewers' thighs. So don't hold my thigh.
They can't see that I'm holding your thigh. My hand could be doing anything right now. But yeah, I think it's kind of like when people speak languages that they grew up around.
Yeah.
It's a different emotion attached to it. So for me, when I say Nakuranza, as opposed to saying I love you is kind of like I heard Denzel say that.
Wow.
Or whatever.
Okay.
But when I say Nakuranza, it's like...
It's from the car.
It's like, my gran used to say that, it's deep. It's deep, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, I feel like there's a depth to speaking a language that's, that's true to kind of your upbringing and stuff.
For people who never meet you and who get to listen to your album, what do you hope they take out of it?
I hope they take out, just be brave.
Okay.
I think in this world, especially now, with the world that we live in, with social media just on such a high pace, it's important that you are brave and you do what you want to do, what you feel like you're meant to do, as opposed to what you think people will accept. Because it's so hard now, the criticism now. And so back in the day, people didn't trend. You could screw up and not trend.
Yeah, your coach will tell you, and that's it.
Yeah, like we didn't know a lot of these scandals that are coming out now. They're coming out now, like with your Michael Jacksons and your O.J. Simpsons, blah blah blah. We like realizing more of the story now.
Yeah.
Because at that time they didn't trend. So now the stakes are higher. So it's harder to be yourself because if you fail at a high level and you fail to a greater audience. And so my advice would be just be brave.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to get Brenden Praise's new album.
Yes.
Feels So Good. Thank you for everything. And yeah, comment down below. What has your journey been with Brenden Praise? Because it seems like a lot of people have a journey with you. How do you feel about the album? And yeah, just drop a comment below.
Let us know what your favorite songs are.
Oh yeah, let us know.
Did you do the kiss thing already?
I did. Come on.
Then it's over.
Let us know what your favorite song is.
Yeah.